Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in support of Senate Bill 1000, which would allow for state funds to begin flowing again to schools and human service organizations across the Commonwealth that are crying out for assistance. I can think of no good reason to vote against an emergency funding plan. By providing this money now, the clients of these agencies can receive the critical services upon which they depend, and the educational process can continue without disruption for students in districts statewide. School children and our most vulnerable citizens should not and must not be held hostage by the budget standoff created entirely by the governor. In the meantime, discussions can go on towards reaching a final budget plan that spends within our means while funding the core functions of state government without placing a heavier burden on the tax-paying families of Pennsylvania. Mr. Speaker, in recent weeks, many of us have heard from constituents in our home districts about the hardships they are being forced to endure because of the governor's inaction. For example, we got a call from a manager of a building that houses a deep EP lab who was concerned about the state falling behind in its rent and utility payments, which totaled more than $300,000 a month. The landlord made the July utility payments but could not cover those expenses for August and September without the rent money. They're expecting the gas and electrical service to be shut off any day now because of non-payment of the rent money due. Our advice for this concerned landlord constituent was to contact the governor's office and urge him to sign the stopgap emergency funding budget, and the sooner the better. But first, Mr. Speaker, this body must pass Senate Bill 1000. I urge my colleagues to vote in the affirmative and send the emergency funding bill to the governor's desk. In doing so, we have done our part in resolving the funding crisis faced by many who are unfairly caught in the middle of this budget battle. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair, thanks, lady.